What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, I am the FPL train. I am an awful FPL player, particularly this season. I've been absolutely shocking, and you'll see why as we go through my team. What happened in game week 28? Now, obviously, you saw this thumbnail, and it said free hit activated. I have activated the free hit chip. I've had no choice, absolutely no choice whatsoever. Why? Because if you look at my team going into game week 29, I have. Technically, I have 5 players or 6 players available for game week 29, but my backup goalie doesn't play, so that's 5. And my 2 Southampton players don't play, so that's now 3 players. My 2 Chelsea players and Semenyo, and Chelsea got Arsenal away. So, effectively, I've had no choice to do that. I mean, I could have activated the wildcard chip, but because we've got the FA Cup in the following week, we won't find out who's in the semi-final till then, obviously. And I want to have a good idea on who's blanking, who's double game weeking, so I have a better idea of doing that. So then I can activate my chip a little bit later. Probably won't be too much later if I'm being all honest, but I'll come to that when it comes to it. But before I go through my team for game week 29, I'm going to look back in 28, unfortunately. And again, it was another shit show, in all fairness. Honestly, I've been awful this season. I don't know what it is. The 5 transfers thing, that threw me off? I don't know. The fact that some of my decision making's just been off so bad this season. I just can't believe it. So, I scored 59 points in total again. This time it came away with a small red arrow again. I seem to be stuck in this bracket between 1.3, 1.4 million. Honestly, I just don't know. I don't know if everybody else who's doing better than me has got the same things. Doesn't matter what you do, it just seems to. Oh man, it's been awful. Basically, it's been a shit show, in all fairness. But we'll go through the team then. So, starting us off goalkeeper wise, nothing. Absolutely nothing from Martinez. You know, I said it the second I found out he weren't playing against Brentford. They don't keep a clean sheet now. And what did they do? They kept a clean sheet. I am fuming, absolutely fuming with it. So much so I wanted to activate the wildcard chip straight away, just get rid of this guy. But honestly, I so regret putting him in. The worst thing about it is I had in game week 1. I activated my wildcard early, which was a massive mistake. That's where it's all gone wrong for me. And then I kept him in because I thought last season I did that. I had Pickford at the start of the season. We activated my wildcard chip. He wasn't doing very good. I took him out and he owned on Stormer. Just ain't happened this season in the back. Honestly. Best goalkeeper in the world, he reckons. It's been a shit show this season from him. So yeah, nothing from Martinez. Obviously, Vladimirson doesn't start, so nothing from him. Backline then, so Levi Colwill came away with the clean sheet against Leicester. I was confident about it. And, you know, it didn't look like there was any threat less in all fairness. So yeah, take those 6 points there. He's been pretty good for me, Colwill, for the last 2 game weeks now. That's 20 points in 2 game weeks. You know, it's probably his best form this season, that is. I mean, defensively as a whole, Chelsea have been crap in all fairness. So definitely taking those 6 points. Absolutely devastated that Virgil van Dijk and Konate conceded against Southampton. How embarrassing. They don't deserve to win the league for that alone. I couldn't believe they went 1-0 down. I was in shock. Absolutely shocked. I thought double Liverpool defence, guaranteed 12 points there. No, didn't happen. They conceded, and instead of having 12 points, I've come away with 4 points in total. Honestly, I'm absolutely fuming with that. What do you do to that? Honestly, So yeah, that was a massive letdown for me as well. I mean, I've not looked properly how many points I need to, get that green arrow, but I have a feeling Liverpool don't concede. I've got a green arrow, just a feeling. But yeah, I can't believe that. I mean, obviously Lewis Hall was out for the season, so he's on the bench. Didn't sell him. No point. His price is lots. I didn't fancy. I was all over the place. Didn't fancy any defenders. Defenders that I wanted, I had. Maybe I should have gone double Chelsea defence when you're looking at it now, but it's too late now. So nothing from him. And obviously Charlie Taylor wasted time. Midfield 5 then. Absolutely shit show from a midfield, as you can see. So I got 59 points and 30 of them were from Mohamed Salah. I think that says it all really, doesn't it? Absolutely shocking from the rest of them. Salah got 2 goals, 3 bonus points, 2 penalties I believe it was as well. So What can you say about Salah? I mean, I've heard some people yapping on about selling him. I mean, I ain't doing that. Even if I wildcard tomorrow, he's staying in my team. Yes, he's got at the end of the season Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal. Maybe you could sell him around then, but when you got Everton, Fulham, West Ham, Leicester coming up, behave yourself. So yes, Salah once again, quality, and the rest of them just shocking really. Morgan Rogers, just 3 points there, nothing from that game against Brentford, disappointing. Semenyo has been an absolute shit show since I brought him in. 1 point yet again, another yellow card yet again. Honestly, it was either him or Cliver. I went Semenyo, and clearly that was a fucking wrong decision, weren't it? So yeah, 1 point from Semenyo, awful, just awful. Cole Palmer, missed penalty. You just love it, don't you? You just gotta love it. When it's not going your way, it really ain't going your way. Missed penalty, goes off after 72 minutes, and it's only 1-0. Unreal. Oh yeah, he had sickness and diarrhea. Is that why he missed penalty then? Absolute joke that was. So that was disappointing. And then Eze, I mean, 3 points from Eze, no goal. I thought Ipswich at home. This is the guy I brought in for this game week. You do something there. I said to myself, I said last week in fact, it's either Eze or Sarr. You know what, I'm going to go for Eze because he did well for me halfway through the season when I had him. And who goes and bloody scores? It's Sarr. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, I mean, just absolute disaster from that midfield, isn't it? Like I said, Mohamed Salah's just made it look better than it actually was. You take those 30 points, I got 29. Is that say I have him for blanking? That's 2 points. 3 points max. Yeah, that says it all really. Just shocking. Absolutely shocking. The only positive I got from this is I didn't captain Palmer. Oh my god. If you captain Cole Palmer, you'd be fuming. Absolutely fuming right now. So yeah, there is that relief. Obviously, if I wanted to get higher up the grid, or the ranking should I say, I have to go differential, and Palmer captaincy would have been the differential, but bloody hell, I'm glad I didn't do that this week. Oh my word. I mean, it's just absolute disaster, isn't it? And then you look at my front two, at least Ollie Watkins did actually come up with the goal against Brentford, so happy with that. One of the 3 players I'm happy with. The rest of them are absolutely shocking. But yeah, happy he got his goal yet again. I mean, he's been class for me, to be fair, since I brought him in. Since Duran got that sending off, I put him in the team because I thought he's going to be played now, for the next 3 game weeks. Duran gets told by the end of that, and I'm thinking, buzzing, kept him in. Yeah, he's been quality, he's been consistent. So yeah, really happy with him. With Isaac. Blanking against West Ham. It was an awful game to watch last night, the other night, weren't it? So yeah, he played 78 minutes, went off 30 because obviously he's got that cup final. But yeah, just got to say, overall, absolutely shocking from the majority of the team. Mohamed Salah's made it look better than it is. 59 points. Another red arrow. I mean, where do I go from here? You watch now, this 3-hit team's going to get a red arrow come next week. I'll be absolutely fuming if it does. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. You just see it, can't you? You can just see it. But yeah, overall, another shocking week from me. So then, on to my 3-hit team for game week 29. Now, this is obviously how it's currently looking, but it could easily change by the time the deadline comes around because there's a few positions that are clearly going to be up for grabs still. So, starting us off, then my 2 goalkeepers are currently Jordan Pickford and Jose Sarr. Now, I can tell you now, Sarr, who's currently sat on the bench, he's got Southampton away from home, is definitely going to be in this team. He's 4.3 million. He starts for Wolves week in, week out. And he's got Southampton away from home, which is a very nice fixture to have. But he isn't going to be starting me just because, I mean, if Wolves were 10th, I'll be even more confident. But the fact that they're 17th makes me think maybe it's not best to have him. So the starting goalkeeper I've currently got is Jordan Pickford of Everton. Now, honestly, this is a toss of a coin whether I'll go for Pickford or Sells of Forest. Obviously, Forest has got Ipswich away from home. But Ipswich have got a few decent strikers. Well, I've got Liam Delap, haven't they? But honestly, it's a toss of a coin whether to go for Sales or Pickford. At the minute, I've got Pickford. I've looked at Everton's fixtures going forward. They ain't keeping a clean sheet again till at least game week 35. So they've got to get a win in this game. They've got to get 1-0 against West Ham. We'll see if it happens, but that's why I'm going for Pickford. And also the fact is it's at Goodison Park as well. That's a massive advantage as well. So the fact he's got the home fixture is why I'm edging just about towards Pickford ahead of Sales. But honestly, this was a real tough one. You could argue maybe going for maybe a Raya maybe. He's got Chelsea, but Chelsea, last time I checked, are pretty good still. So that's why I'm not going for Raya as my goalkeeper. But again, he is a decent option still. He's a quality goalkeeper. You saw that save. I mean, obviously, the free kick people blaming him for, but he made a quality save at the end against United. He's a quality goalkeeper, so he's also somebody I should seriously look at going for into this game week. But at this moment in time anyway, I've gone for Jordan Pickford as the starting goalkeeper. So the back line is going to be a back three yet again, but the five of them are Aina of Ipswich, Guardiola of Man City, Aït-Nouri of Wolves, Spence Spurs, and Saliba of Arsenal. Now, currently, Spence and Saliba are sat on the bench. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty sure at least one of them will be starting, if not both of them will be starting for me come game week 29. So the reason, what I'm thinking of possibly having is, instead of having Aina, Guardiola, and Aït-Nouri, I could have quite easily Spence, Guardiola, and Saliba. The reason why I want to keep Guardiola is, I mean, yes, Man City are awful at the back, but this guy scored 5 goals this season, so you never know. You might get lucky, you might get a goal, so that's why I would rather have him start. But at the moment, you know, Spence sat on the bench, got Spurs, Fulham away, which is actually quite a difficult fixture in all fairness. So you can completely understand why he's currently sat there on my bench. But, you know, he's their best fullback at the minute. Definitely in, you know, the manager's eyes, because he's the one who's starting all the time. He's playing, I mean, he only played 23 minutes against Man City, but he played 90 against Bournemouth. I suppose that is the issue, a minute thing with him, because he's got 3 good, decent, you know, fullbacks. So he could be benched. So possibly you might leave him on the bench just because of his minutes. But Saliba, he's at home. He's got Chelsea, obviously good team Chelsea. But he has it at home, so that is an option to put in my starting lineup. Whereas obviously Aina, he's got Ipswich away from home. Decent fixture, to be fair. Ipswich haven't scored a lot of goals. I think it's like 26 in total. So he's just kept a clean sheet against Arsenal and Man City. So I don't see why I'd be worried about him not keeping a clean sheet against Ipswich. So now I'm talking myself into starting them for sure. But yeah, Aina's in there obviously. Guardiola's got Brighton at home, which is a tough fixture to be fair, Brighton. Brighton are a very hot and cold team, so hopefully come this game, they're on a cold day. And then Aït-Nouri, Southampton away, isn't it? Southampton. It's like, you look at who do you want to bring in for your team that game week. You just look who Southampton are playing, and that's what you go for. But yeah, Southampton away. If this game was at home, for sure I'll be confident in starting him. At the minute he is started for me, but it's going to be now looking at a toss-up between Aït-Nouri or Saliba going to be starting for me come game week 29. Other options I could have gone for, I could have gone for Kirkez, who's obviously got Brentford at home. I could have gone for a Man United defender, but who do you go for? Because Man United don't keep clean sheets. That is the issue there. So, I mean, apart from that, there's not really anybody I'd say that stands out. So, I think I got the best ones that are available to me for this game week. So midfield-wise then, I got 4 of them starting for me for this game week. So Anderson is the 5th option. He's currently just sat there on the bench. I mean, look, I had 5 million left. This guy plays week in, week out at the minute for Forest. He's only got 1 goal this season, 23 starts, but he's got 5 assists, and he's playing against Ipswich away. So it's not the worst team for him to play against. Obviously, the last time he actually got any kind of return was against Southampton way back in game week 22. In fact, that's the only goal as well he scored this season in that game. And before then, you're looking way back to game week 16, where his last assist was actually in the Premier League. So definitely stick him on the bench. He starts, but he will definitely be my probably third bench option, I'd say. That's a tough one, but I mean, yeah, I have no plans for him to start. It was just, like I said, 5 million in the bank, and that's guy who starts week in, week out. So the 4th that started for me, obviously, Phil Foden, Brighton at home. Now, this was a big one, in all fairness. So, obviously, you see it, Cole Palmer is not in this team. He's not in this team at all. So, I could take him out, Foden and take one of my strikers, bring him down for a lesser price striker. That is an option if I want to bring Cole Palmer in. Cole Palmer's got Arsenal away from home though. Not a nice fixture to have. Chelsea haven't looked good in 2025 at all. So, I mean, Phil Foden's not good, look good all season. So it's a big gamble to go for Foden ahead of Palmer. Especially as well, minutes. But the fact is, Man City, they're only in the FA Cup, I believe now. Every other cup competition, they're out. So I think he'll play a bit more minutes. He only played 68 minutes against Forest. This was disappointing. He only played 16 minutes against Spurs. Disappointing. He did play 90 against Liverpool. 75 against Newcastle. He's not playing a lot of minutes. That don't help either. He has got 7 goals still this season, 3 assists. Obviously, I think one of those games was an hat-trick, weren't it? So, but yeah, it's a gamble to go for, and that's why I currently have in my team. Justin Kluivert, I mean, you can't not have him in your team. Everybody who's free hitting is going to have Justin Kluivert in the team. The man's in hot form, 12 goals, 6 assists this season. He's playing against Brentford at home, who, by the way, I don't have Mbeumo in this team as well. It's another noticeable absence from this team. Mbeumo has been fantastic this season, so no my luck now. If I go with this team and don't make any changes, Cole Palmer will score a couple of goals, Mbeumo will score a couple of goals, and then I'll completely hate my life completely. You just know that's going to happen. So yeah, Justin Kluivert is going to be starting, obviously. Bruno Fernandes is going to be the captain for this game week. He's got a Leicester City away, like Garnacho as well. So I'm going for double Man United players for this game week. Look, it's Leicester away. Garnacho, I mean, he's now Man United's, alongside Bruno Fernandes, best attacker, with obviously Ahmad being out for the season. Ahmad being out for the season and out also means you'd expect more minutes from Garnacho. I mean, he didn't get a lot of minutes against the likes of Everton and Ipswich, so that is obviously a concern. So he could be on the bench. That's a massive worry in all fairness for me. And he's not the early kickoff, he's not a 3 o'clock kickoff, which is a pain in the backside. He plays on the Sunday. So he is a gamble as well. But I'm doing crap this season, so I've got to take gambles, I guess. No, my luck. Like I said, what would happen with, the other 2 players, I'm not bringing in Boom and Palmer, and you watch Garnacho be on the bench. That'll just sum it all up. But yeah, those 2 are going to be starting. Obviously, you've got to have Bruno in your team at the minute. The guy's in good form right now. Good free kick against Arsenal. He's scored quite a few goals of recent. He got a 10-pointer against Ipswich, a 10-pointer against Everton, obviously 9 points against Arsenal. So hopefully continue that form into game week 29. So that leaves me with my front 3, and they consist of Erling Haaland, Chris Wood, and Dominic Solanke. Now that is probably the biggest surprise out of the 3. I think everybody who's free hitting will have Erling Haaland and Chris Wood in their team. Brighton at home for Haaland, tough fixture. Could he score? I mean, I'm not confident. That's why he's not my captain. But I'm going to have him in my team anyway. Chris Wood's got Ipswich away. I still think that's a tough fixture on paper, but I can see him still scoring in that game. And the guy scored, 18 goals this season, so I'm not going to be going against him now, am I? And then my last option, of course, is Solanke. Came back against Bournemouth, and I thought he played reasonably well. I mean, if he had that penalty instead of Son, I mean, a lot more people will probably be looking at bringing him in for this game week, but because Son took it, not many people are looking at him. He's got Fulham away. It's not the worst fixture in the world, but it's not the best fixture in the world. Another option is Evan Nilsson, obviously at Bournemouth, who's got Brentford at home. So, obviously, like I mentioned earlier, the Palmer Foden thing. If I was to bring Palmer in instead of Foden, then I'd just have to downgrade Solanke for Evan Nilsson. So that is the options that I could do for that. But yeah, at the minute, Solanke's starting for me. And I don't know, I've got a feeling he could do well for me. It's a feeling. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. No, my luck. I mean, I can't quite remember. Have they got Europa League this week? I'm not quite sure. I'll just have a quick check. Yes, they have. So, I mean, oh God. He could, by that point, get benched then for game week 29. But we'll have to see. Hopefully he doesn't. But it's something I'm going to have to really think about. Slanky or Evan Nielsen. It's a tough one, but I want to go for Slanky because everyone is probably going to go for more than likely Evan Nielsen. I don't know, everyone. I've just made that up, haven't I? But it's between Slanky or Evan Nielsen. There's nobody really else left that I could really go for. So yeah, that is what my free hit team is currently looking like ahead of game week 29. Let me know what you think of this team. Is it awful? Is it good? Let me know. And please as well, before you go, do not forget to like this video, hit subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next one.